My beloved child, what you have waited for through tears and prayed for quietly over a long period of time is beginning to emerge from the hidden place and become a real transformation within your life. I, Archangel Michael, draw near to you in this moment, not to pressure you into believing through fear, but to strengthen a heart that has grown weary from waiting so many times. There are things you once felt you had prayed for so long that the prayer itself seemed to become part of the silence. You watched the days and months pass, saw that your circumstances had not changed as you hoped, and wondered whether what you longed for was still remembered. Yet remain calm, because delay does not mean you have been forgotten. Some gifts must be prepared in depth so that when they arrive, they do not merely bring you joy for a moment, but possess enough strength to transform the way you walk through the years ahead. I stood near you during the times when no one knew how hard you were trying. I saw the nights when you lay quietly in the darkness, attempting to keep your sobs from becoming audible because you did not want your loved ones to worry. I saw the mornings when you awakened with heavy shoulders and still reminded yourself to continue because so many responsibilities were waiting. You learned how to smile while you were still hurting within, and how to say that you were fine when your heart simply longed for a safe place to rest. Not one of your tears was considered insignificant, and not one trembling prayer was overlooked. I know there were moments when you did not possess enough strength to form a complete sentence and could only look upward, hoping that heaven understood what you carried. My beloved child, you were understood even within those silences. What made you ready was not that you never fell, but that after every moment of instability, you still chose to rise without allowing pain to make you bitter. The world sometimes treated you coldly, yet you tried to preserve kindness. Some people used your trust as something easy to exploit. Yet, you did not abandon your ability to love. Doors closed just when you thought you had drawn very near. Relationships disappeared when you most needed companionship. And promises dissolved before they could become reality. Even so, you preserved a spark of hope, although many times it became so small that even you did not know whether it still existed. That quiet perseverance has become the strength you carry today. I want you to understand that what is being prepared is not coming to return you to the former version of yourself. It is coming to mark a change of season. You are no longer someone who gives away complete trust merely because a few beautiful words have been spoken. You have learned to look at actions, recognize consistency, and protect necessary boundaries. You no longer view another person's rejection as evidence that you are unworthy. Neither do you continue believing that enduring everything is the definition of love. Those lessons were purchased through many tears, but now they have become armor that will keep you from losing the gift when it enters your life. Had what you longed for arrived too early, you might have placed it into hands that did not know how to preserve it, or you might have damaged it through haste and fear of losing it. Therefore, the time that has passed was not meaningless emptiness. It was the season in which you were prepared to receive without continuing to live in panic. What is approaching may appear in a form different from what you once imagined. You prayed for healing, but that healing may begin when you rediscover the courage to face what you have continued avoiding. You prayed for clarity, and the answer may come through a truth that requires you to release a connection that is no longer healthy. You prayed for love, but before the right person arrives, you may need to learn to stop chasing those who offer you only uncertainty. You prayed for release from financial pressure, and the new door may begin with a skill you need to develop. An opportunity you must courageously accept, or an old habit you must discipline yourself to abandon. A miracle does not always fall into your hands as something already completed. Sometimes it arrives as a seed and invites you to nurture it until it becomes a great tree. Do not believe that you have asked for too much by praying to be strengthened. I know there is a part of you that once felt guilty for desiring an easier life. You told yourself that others were suffering more. So, perhaps you should stop asking. But my beloved child, another person's pain does not make your pain meaningless. The desire to be healed is not selfish. Longing to be loved sincerely is not greed. Hoping for enough resources to live peacefully and care for your family is not shameful. What matters is that when you receive, you use what you have with gratitude, wisdom, and a heart that remembers the days of scarcity. During your waiting, many things were being adjusted beyond your sight. Some people left your life, causing pain and confusion. But now you will gradually recognize that their departure created necessary space. Certain relationships, had they continued, would have drawn you back into old ways of living, weakened your confidence, and caused you to doubt every good thing taking shape. Some opportunities appeared to have been taken away, but in truth, they were not stable enough to carry you very far. Certain delays disappointed you, yet they protected you from choices that might later have demanded a heavy price. I am not saying that every loss can be easily understood immediately, but I remind you not to call every closed door abandonment. Sometimes protection arrives in a form your heart cannot recognize at the time. What I need from you now is not uncontrolled excitement, but calm and deeply rooted trust. Do not run and tell everyone about what is still forming. Do not allow expectation to make you assign sacred meaning to every invitation, every new person, or every small change. Keep your heart open while your eyes remain awake. What is genuine will not fear the test of time. A good opportunity will not require you to betray your principles. A healthy relationship will not make you beg for respect. A stable financial path will not demand that you rush into it through greed and panic. Right guidance will increase your ability to think clearly rather than causing you to lose your reason. When change begins, the first sign may not be a dramatic event, but the relief arising within you. You will realize that you no longer react violently to the things that once caused panic. You will discover that you can say no without being consumed by guilt. You will stop chasing people who have repeatedly demonstrated that they do not desire to remain. You will begin caring for your time, health, and resources with greater respect. Those seemingly small changes are evidence that the old lock is being removed. When you change inwardly, the doors outside of you also begin responding through a new order. Therefore, my beloved child, breathe deeply and enter this time with humility. You have not been forgotten, left behind, or allowed to pass through the previous years without purpose. What you endured is being transformed into wisdom. What once made you cry is teaching you how to protect joy. The times you had to stand alone are helping you recognize who truly deserves to stand beside you. I, Archangel Michael, remind you that the good thing approaching is not only intended to compensate for what you lost, but also to open a new way of living in which you are no longer ruled by fear, scarcity, or the voices of the past. Keep your heart steadfast. Continue doing what is right, and do not despise the small steps being placed before you. The season of waiting is gradually becoming the season of receiving. And when you look back, you will understand that you were never forgotten. You were being prepared to enter what you once prayed for with a heart strong, discerning, and mature enough to preserve it for a long time. During this season, your silence is the shield I have placed around the good thing being formed, so that the blessing may be preserved in gratitude rather than swept into the gaze of the world. My beloved child, not every change must be announced the moment it appears, and not every newly opened door must be described to everyone. The more precious something is, the more it may need to be nurtured quietly, like a seed that must remain deep beneath the soil before rising into a great tree. If you dig it up every day to prove that it is growing, you may unintentionally damage the very thing you long to see flourish. Therefore, when I teach you to remain silent, it is not because I want you to live in fear or hide yourself from the light. I am helping you protect your focus so that your heart remains directed toward the one who gave the gift, instead of becoming occupied with the reactions of those around you. Silence at the proper time keeps your joy pure. It prevents you from turning a sacred gift into a means of proving your worth. When you no longer rush to tell others in order to receive praise, you will begin to understand more deeply the true meaning of what you are receiving. You will recognize that abundance is not found in the number of people who know about your success, but in the peace you are able to preserve after it arrives. A mature person does not need every eye to turn toward them in order to feel seen. They can give thanks quietly, reorder their life in private, and continue walking with steadfastness, because their identity is not built upon applause that quickly fades. I want you to reach that freedom, where praise does not cause you to rise too high, and the silence of others does not cause you to doubt your value. When financial provision arrives at the proper time, it often carries a purpose deeper than making life more comfortable. It may be the answer to years when you had to weigh every small expense, and to nights when you did not know how you would manage the next day, but still chose to continue trusting. It may help bring stability to your family, resolve responsibilities that have weighed heavily for too long, or create breathing space so that you no longer live in continual fear of the unexpected. I may also use that abundance to expand your compassion, allowing you to quietly help someone in difficulty without needing them to know your name. Support a family that is struggling, or sow hope into a place that has nearly surrendered to despair. What I place in your hands is not only for you to keep, but also so that you may become a channel that gives with discernment. However, you must remember that generosity does not mean allowing others to misuse your kindness. When the blessing comes, many voices may appear, many needs may seek you out, and some people will notice you only after seeing that you possess something they desire. Therefore, keep your heart tender while your eyes remain clear. You have not been called to solve every problem or carry every consequence created by another person's choices. Listen to me before extending your hand, because there are places where you need to give and places where you need to establish boundaries. A gift given in the wrong place can nourish dependence rather than helping someone grow. Wisdom will teach you when to help, how to help, and when to step back so that another person can learn responsibility. Along with that discernment, I want you to guard humility as one guards a lamp in the wind. When your life begins changing, you may be tempted to return to those who once despised you and show them that they were wrong. You may desire to display your achievements to compensate for years without recognition. But if you use the blessing to answer contempt, you are still allowing people from your past to determine how you live in the present. Do not turn your restoration into a performance. You do not need to prove to anyone that I have lifted you up. Let your peace, discipline, and the way you treat others become the evidence. The most beautiful thing is not how much you possess, but that after receiving more, your voice remains gentle, your hands remain open, and you still remember how deeply you once needed support. Keep gratitude stronger than self-satisfaction. When you look back upon difficult seasons, do not remember only the pain, remember the lessons that helped you mature. The days without applause taught you how to stand without the crowd. The times when you possessed very little taught you to value every small thing. The nights when only faith remained gave you a foundation that circumstances could not easily shake. I do not want you to forget the person who persevered through the storm when life becomes easier. Carry the humility of those years into the season of abundance, because it will keep you from losing direction when your choices become wider. I often entrust greater responsibility to those who have learned to care faithfully for small things. When you can give thanks for an ordinary meal, a peaceful day, a small opportunity, or one sincere person beside you, you are learning to recognize value that many people overlook. A person who can rejoice only when something great happens will always live with a sense of lack, because the present will never feel sufficient. But the person who treasures small things possesses a stable heart even when something great arrives. Abundance does not make them lose direction because they have already learned to live with order. Care well for what you possess today, even if it does not yet resemble what you desire. The way you manage the present is preparation for what will be entrusted tomorrow. The path of someone guided by me does not need to be loud. It is often a path of private decisions, prayers no one hears, and good deeds requiring no recognition. You may be progressing greatly while no one outside notices. Do not become impatient because of this. A tree with deep roots does not need continually to prove that it is alive. It patiently receives nourishment, and in the proper season, it produces fruit. In the same way, allow wisdom to guide each step, and do not force yourself to explain every change. Some people will not understand why you speak less, why you no longer participate in useless conversations, or why you have begun protecting your time. Let them wonder. You do not need permission to live in order, nor do you need to justify preserving your peace. As my understanding settles deeply within you, life will no longer feel like a race in which you must surpass others. You will stop viewing another person's success as evidence that you are losing, and you will stop rushing to display your achievements merely to prove you have advanced. You will recognize that each person has their own season and that your responsibility is to remain faithful to the path entrusted to you. The need to impress will gradually fade because you will begin understanding that the most beautiful things in life often require no audience. A peaceful home, a clean heart, sleep without torment, and the ability to look upon others with compassion are worth far more than the brief attention of a crowd. Then you will discover that peace is more precious than applause. You will no longer surrender your stability to opinions that change from day to day. When others praise you, you will be grateful without becoming dependent. When they remain silent, you will continue walking. When someone doubts you, you will not need to stop and argue. You will know who is guiding you and why you must continue. This is the maturity I am building, quiet but steadfast. Humble yet powerful. You will be able to enter crowded rooms without trying to attract attention because the peaceful presence within you will already communicate what needs to be known. Therefore, when good days begin unfolding, walk gently. Do not immediately reveal every plan. Grant everyone access to places still under construction, or allow excitement to remove your awareness. Take time to give thanks. Organize and ask me for the true purpose of what you have received. Some things need to be invested, some preserved, some used to fulfill responsibilities, and some planted as seeds for the future. You do not need to make every decision in one day. Provision does not come to create new pressure, but to help you live with greater order. Let peace stand as the gatekeeper of every choice. My beloved child, your silence during this season is not emptiness. It is a sacred space where gratitude is growing, wisdom is maturing, and lasting foundations are being established. I am not telling you to hide good things forever, because there will come a time when your story can strengthen those who are losing hope. But before you tell the story, live it fully. Before you announce the change, allow the change to take root deeply within your thoughts and actions. Value peace more than attention, humility more than the need to prove yourself, and gratitude more than display. When you do this, the blessing will not only change your circumstances, it will become part of a lasting maturity no one can take from you. These are not merely words placed before your eyes, but a personal reminder sent to you at the proper time so that you may know the season of delay is gradually closing. The things you waited for through tears, the answers you believed had become lost among the years, and the dreams buried beneath disappointment are being awakened according to a new order. You no longer need to struggle to seize what has already been prepared for you, nor exhaust yourself trying to make others recognize your worth. Stop chasing the approval of those who never truly understood your heart. Stop attempting to persuade someone to love you by sacrificing your peace, diminishing your voice, or quietly enduring what causes pain. I heard you even when your prayer became only a weak breath. I saw you even during days when you believed you were forgotten. What is coming is not a reward for suffering long enough, but the result of a journey that has made you mature enough to receive without losing yourself. Tonight carries a different kind of stillness, as though invisible winds are changing direction to bring each piece back into its proper place. What was delayed is no longer standing still as it once did. Paths that were hidden are gradually being illuminated. Interrupted plans are finding a new rhythm, and pieces that seemed broken are being gathered to form something more beautiful. I am not saying that everything will return exactly as it was, because you are no longer the person you were yesterday. Some things that were lost do not need to return in their former form. They will be replaced by what is healthier, deeper, and more suitable for the person you have become. I am not restoring you in order to return you to the place that exhausted you. I am restoring you to lead you into a new way of living, where you no longer beg for the bare minimum from those who do not know how to value your heart. You spent too many years trying to hold what continually slipped from your hands. You believed that if you became a little kinder, more patient, or more silent, others would change and finally recognize your value. Yet genuine love does not require you to become exhausted, proving that you deserve it. What belongs to you will not require you to betray your feelings, nor keep you trapped in prolonged confusion. Therefore, allow your hands to rest from continually holding on. Allow your heart to stop knocking upon doors that have already closed. I am teaching you that letting go is not defeat. Sometimes it is the first action of someone who recognizes that they are no longer called to remain in the former place. When you stop pursuing what was never meant for you, you will possess enough quietness to recognize what is truly approaching. I, Michael, stood beside you during the days when you did not know how to name your exhaustion. I saw you awaken, carrying a weight you could not explain, and still complete your responsibilities as though everything were fine. I saw you longing for someone to ask how you were, yet choosing silence because you did not want to become a burden. I saw the times when you nearly lost all hope and still preserved a very small light within. That light carried you farther than you realized. You did not reach this moment through perfect strength. You arrived because each time you fell, you chose to rise. You do not need to shout your agreement for me to hear it. A sincere whisper. A quiet decision that you will no longer live beneath the authority of fear is enough to begin an inner transformation. Genuine agreement is not a formula that makes a miracle appear instantly. It is the moment when you permit yourself to leave the way of thinking that once imprisoned you. When you agree to believe that you can be loved healthily, you will stop accepting uncertainty as normal. When you believe the future remains open, you will stop returning to former choices merely because they are familiar. When you recognize that I am still guiding you, you will stop forcing everything to occur according to the timing you predicted. Through these changes, the world around you will gradually begin to move. You will make different decisions, establish different boundaries, and enter rooms where you once believed you did not belong. Others may begin treating you differently, not because some mysterious power has forced them, but because the peace and steadfastness within you have changed the treatment you are willing to accept. Then you will recognize that pieces of your life that once seemed disconnected are gradually joining together. A conversation arriving at the proper time will help you see a new road. A small opportunity may become the beginning of something greater. A sincere person will approach without making you chase them or wonder whether their intentions are genuine. New affection will not throw your inner world into confusion, but will create the feeling of being respected and safe. You will sense the former chaos within you becoming quiet because you no longer live in constant preparation for abandonment. I will teach you the difference between powerful but temporary emotion and steadfast presence demonstrated through time. What is truly good will not keep you awake through confusion. It will allow you to sleep peacefully because words and actions are moving together. Do not immediately dismiss every encounter as coincidence, but neither turn every small sign into a certain promise. I am calling you to walk through both faith and discernment. Some things remain hidden for a time, not to make you suffer, but to give them an opportunity to take root before facing pressure from outside eyes. Grace often arrives through very ordinary forms, a new idea appearing when you believed you had nothing left. A simple invitation leading you to the right place, or an inner prompting causing you to leave what no longer fits. When the ordinary covering is removed, you will recognize that I was present within every detail. Yet you still possess the freedom to choose. I will not force you to enter something for which you are not ready. I simply place a door gently before you and invite you to open your heart enough to see what lies beyond it. You have searched for answers through many voices, passed through countless pieces of advice, and tried to understand why you continued feeling that something was missing. Today, I want you to stop searching in panic and return to the quietness within. Not everything you need is located in some distant place. Some answers have already been planted within your understanding through the lessons you endured. You know what it feels like to be underestimated. And therefore, you have learned to recognize genuine respect. You know how deeply inconsistency exhausts you. And now you understand the value of faithfulness. You know how painful it is to lose yourself in order to keep another person. And therefore you will no longer call endless self-sacrifice love. Your preparation did not take place only during times of prayer. It occurred every time you chose to rise, heal, and refuse to return to what had broken you. Things you believed were permanently lost may return, but in a form far beyond what you once imagined. It may not be the same opportunity, relationship, or path, but the good meaning you once longed for will be restored in a more mature way. What you originally desired may have been only a small version of what I am bringing. You wanted one person to notice you, but I want you to walk beside someone who respects both your strength and vulnerability. You wanted an opportunity to demonstrate your ability, but I want to place you where that ability can create lasting value. You wanted release from pain, while I am teaching you to live so freely that the past can no longer control your decisions. Therefore, my beloved child, let this moment belong to peace rather than haste. You do not need to chase a miracle as though it were about to escape your hands. What is truly meant for you will not disappear merely because you need time to pray. Observe and discern. Open your heart without forgetting wisdom. Hope without exchanging your boundaries. Receive joy while keeping your feet firmly planted in truth. I do not want you to live in fear of missing out. I want you to live in trust that what is right will find you while you are walking in the right direction. The joy that is coming will amaze you not only through its beauty, but through the way it brings clarity to the entire journey you have traveled. Then you will understand that you were never forgotten. You were being preserved, healed, and prepared so that you could receive what is good without continuing to fear that it would once again be taken from your hands.